Nothing in life is truly worthwhile unless you're willing to take risks. Nelson Mandela once said, "There is no passion to be found in playing small, in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living." Throughout your life, whether in school, applying to college, choosing a career, or chasing a dream, you've probably been told, make sure you have something to fall back on. But I never understood that. If I'm gonna fall, I don't want to fall back. I want to fall forward. At least that way, I can see what I'm about to hit. Without consistency, you'll never reach the finish line. So, do what you love. There was an old IQ test with 9 dots, and the challenge was to connect them using only 5 lines without lifting the pencil. The only way to do it was to think outside the box. That's the key. Don't be afraid to think big, to fail big, and to dream big. But remember, dreams without goals are just dreams. Reggie Jackson struck out 2,600 times in his career, the most in baseball history. But do people talk about his failures? They remember his home runs. Thomas Edison failed 1,000 times before he invented the light bulb. Imagine if he had quit, but he didn't, because every failure brought him one step closer to success. Every setback was a lesson. So, fall forward. Now, I know you've probably heard the phrase, take risks, many times, but let's talk about why it really matters. You will fail at some point. You will lose. You will embarrass yourself. You will struggle. That's life, and that's okay, because failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of success. It's a stepping stone. When I started my career, I auditioned for a Broadway musical. It was the perfect role for me, except for one thing. I couldn't sing. I didn't get the job, but I didn't give up. I kept auditioning. I kept trying. I failed over and over again, and I kept praying. There's an old saying, hang around the barber shop long enough, and sooner or later you'll get a haircut. If you keep showing up, keep pushing forward, and keep working, you will catch a break. And I did. Years later, I performed in the play Fences on Broadway. And here's the crazy part. It was at the same theater where I had failed that first audition 30 years earlier. Life came full circle. So I ask you, do you have the courage to fail? Because if you don't fail, you're not even trying. To get something you've never had, you have to do something you've never done. Imagine lying on your deathbed, surrounded by the ghosts of your unfulfilled potential. The dreams you never pursued, the talents you never used, the ideas you never acted on. Those ghosts will be angry, saying, "We came to you because only you could have brought us to life. But now we must die with you." So I ask you today, how many ghosts will be around your bed when your time comes? I recently visited South Africa, a beautiful country with areas in desperate need of help. But it's not just South Africa. The Middle East needs help. Japan needs help. Alabama, Tennessee, Louisiana, Philadelphia, our own communities need help. The world needs you. We need young people with fresh energy, new ideas, and a willingness to step up, because the world isn't going to change itself. It's up to you. What will you do with what you have? I'm not talking about how much money you have or how smart you are. Some of you are business majors. Some are nurses, teachers, engineers. Some have money. Some have kindness. Some have patience. Some have love. Whatever your gift is, use it. Share it. Give it everything you've got. Now, let me tell you something about failure. Sometimes, failure is the best way to figure out where you're supposed to be. When I started college at Fordham University, I wanted to be a doctor. I took a course called cardiac morphogenesis. I couldn't even pronounce it, let alone pass it. So, I switched to pre-law, then journalism. My grades kept dropping, and soon, I had a 1.8 GPA. The university politely suggested I take some time off. At 20 years old, I was lost. I had no direction. Then, on March 27, 1975, I was helping my mother in her beauty shop when an older woman, one of the town elders, looked at me in the mirror and said something I'll never forget. "Young man, I have a prophecy. You will travel the world and speak to millions of people." At the time, I had no idea what she meant, but years later that prophecy came true. Through my movies and my career, I have spoken to millions. People who had never seen me before now know my name. But more importantly, I finally saw myself. And today, I see you. I see the potential in you. I see the future in you. And it gives me hope. Taking risks isn't just about career choices. It's about opening your mind, being willing to learn, and connecting with others. So, don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to dream big. Don't be afraid to take risks. And when you fall, because you will, remember this: fall forward.